Welcome back to the Viper Miner channel. Today I want to go over one other thing here um, about protecting yourself. ETH. If you're staking ETH, please think hard about staking your ETH. I'm not saying don't stake your ETH. This is not financial advice, but I starting to see some things that again are hitting the news wires, but they're very low key, and I think we need to start realizing what some of this is, right? Let me switch over to the browser here. If you look, this is on thestreet.com. The fact it's on thestreet.com kind of scares me. They're I liked it better in the earlier days, but the fact that it's here scares me. Okay, let's just leave it at that. On Thursday, which was the White House came out and started to talk about the FTX collapse and start talking about how they need to start looking at possibly doing more regulations. That got me thinking, okay, because we have back, I think this article is back mid-November, and this is off Cointelegraph, but it talks about how ETH, the devs took the withdrawal of your staked ETH out of their plan, right? There's no date, there's no roadmap to it right now. It is kind of like up in hiatus. When can you take your ETH out? Now, my understanding, and I don't stake ETH, full disclosure, so, and that is the reason why, because even from the very beginning, when it was proof of work, there was no plan and no date and no roadmap on how to take your ETH out of the staking program. Every other staking mechanism for a project has a way to pull your capital out. Ethereum does not, and that's, to me, that's a telltale sign that there's problems there, right? I think if everybody were to take their ETH out, I think their entire system would probably collapse. Okay, and I think there's a lot of people who are hungry to take their money out, their tokens out, and that's a problem, and that's why they're not letting it happen, because I think they know they'll have a collapse, or at least have a more vulnerability of being hacked at that point with a 51 node attack. But the fact that you can't take it out should worry you, not even if you're a long-term investor in ETH. I mean, extremely long-term investor, right? Let's say you're 10 years out and you want to make sure that you still believe in the project and you think it'll be in 10 years, at that point you'll be able to get your money out. There is one other catch to this, and that's the Howey Test. Okay, the Howey Test is what's used for checking to see if an asset is considered an investment that needs to be regulated. Okay, so when you have proof of work coins, it falls outside of the Howey Test. You don't have to worry about the government coming in and regulating it as a registered asset, to where you have to have specialized exchanges and everything else, like a stock, right? However, POS, ETH, and they're looking at ETH, and again, it's down on the underline of the radar of everybody, and I want you guys to be aware of this. So when ETH went POS, there's two of the Howey tests that tells a proof of work coin that it's not a tradable asset, and POS does hit those two now. So the first one is POS investors are pledging funds to, and as a form of a token now, and the fund is an enterprise, which is Ethereum. And the intention of the profit from its efforts are that the investing public, us, are anticipating profits on the efforts of others, meaning the enterprise. That is the problem I have with ETH right now. It is now fully, I think, in my eyes, not financial advice, my humble opinion, that the government can come in now and say this is classified as a trading asset and it's an investment. And now adds a whole nother set of regulations for the project. How does that fit? Are they even looking at this? And to be honest with you, the core develop team, they're so they only want you to know what they want you to know, right? They're not very transparent, at least in my humble opinion. Again, they need to say when you're going to be able to pull your money out. I mean, it's not their money technically, right? It's your asset. You either mined it, bought it, did something to acquire that, and then you lent it out to be staked, and there's no way for you to get it back. I mean, think about it. Every bank in the world that loans a loan out, they get their money back. There's a clear contract and path on how you get your money back. How do you get your ETH out of a stake pool? Can't right now, right? Now there's some other workarounds with some exchanges, with some wrapped ETH and stuff like that, or stake wrapped ETH. But again, with this environment and exchanges falling left and right, I wouldn't trust that. Humble opinion, not financial advice, but please, please be careful. If you are thinking about doing your staked ETH, or you are currently staking maybe through Binance, I believe Binance has got a mechanism to pull in and out. You might want to pull out and reinvest somewhere else. Not financial advice. Again, you need to make this decision on your own, but please do the research and look to see. There is no way to get your ETH out. The White House is now, I mean, the White House is starting to look harder and harder at the crypto world, right? The FTX collapse has opened up a lot of people's eyes in the government. And I believe it's even South Africa started having some issues. They're calling for more regulation over there, their government. I mean, it's starting to go around the globe on who wants more regulation. People that were kind of like governments that were kind of hands off are no longer as much. So please, please be careful out there. All right. I'll leave links for all the articles I read. And if you guys got questions or comments or want me to look into something, please let me know in the comment section. Please hit the subscribe button if you can, and the notification button. And I'll talk to you guys soon.